Good evening, firing squad of the Killing Wall. Some of you might be wondering why I don't have the intro up. Well, there's a good reason for that. And it's the topic of tonight's show. But first and foremost, as always, let's talk a little bit of turkey. First and foremost, we're going to go over our standard rules. General order number 1, donate Kenko. Help him out. Buy one of his t-shirts. General rule number 1. General order number 2, download Live 365. Check out Hellfire Radio there. You can also check us out at hellfireradio.com. You can check us out on the Instagram. You can check us out on our YouTube. You can check us out on Twitch as well as here. Facebook Live, where you're listening to this right now and watching this right now. All the awesome. Plenty of fucking content, plenty of kick-ass shows. I'm telling you, you need to check it out. General rule number 3, share this out. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's the topic of tonight. Because tonight, folks, we're going after a beast. We're going after a monster. Tonight, we're going after the algorithm. That's right. We're going after that fucking beast tonight. Oh, we've got some people coming in here. Sergeant Page, Troops Beth, Troop Elizabeth, Lieutenant Tyson, Troop Tyler, and Troop Gabby. I'm so glad to see you all coming in. I need y'all to share the shit out of this, because let me tell y'all what happened, okay? A while back, some of you might have noticed, okay, I had an intro, all right? And the intro was a little bit different than the one I've had for the last 2 episodes, okay? At the end, I added in my logo and an actual message as to where I got the music. I didn't have that in the first one, and I figured, okay, maybe that's the reason why the shows that I had that intro on didn't get that many views that I'm used to getting. It was a little weird. So I spoke to the execs, and they said, well, take it down and see how your shows do. And they did well for a while, and I figured, okay, let me try and retool it, cite where I got the music from. Okay, cool, no problem. So I finally managed to get it tooled up. I added it on for Friday's show. Which, yeah, the subject matter was a little niche. Okay? You know, some of my troops couldn't really relate, and I can understand that. And the view count on that was insanely low. So much so, I freaked out. Weird. I figured, you know what? Maybe it's a fluke. Sometimes Friday nights are a little bit odd. So I did it again last night. Still low. So now, no intro until we can figure out what the hell is going on. But if we had to guess, it's a victim of that beast right there, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. The algorithm. Not just here. There are a couple of other social media sites out there, different types of platforms out there that have their own variants as to what the algorithm is. And some of you might be asking me, what the fuck is an algorithm? Lieutenant Takara, I'm glad to see you reporting in. Let's talk about the algorithm. A beast that seriously needs to be slain or tamed. It needs a code red ordered on it. I think you do too. So, let's have a conversation. A little bit of a briefing, shall we? First off, what the definition of an algorithm is. Well, here's how an algorithm works. You take a look at a base number of how many people usually will watch something in particular, how popular it is, depending on what sort of categorization it is. That's your baseline. Then there's some math that I'm not even going to go into that goes into whether or not this is something that a particular network will push for people to see, be it people that are members of a particular page or group or social media circle will see it. That's how an algorithm works. And if it gets shared out, will be whether or not it shows up first thing when somebody checks out a timeline or a main feed or whether or not it gets buried. That's how an algorithm works. And this math is mostly in order to be able to push new content out there for folks to see. Understandable. And possibly promote. That's the way algorithms are meant to work. Here's where it gets fucked, folks. Here's where it fucks everybody up. It fucks everybody up because the only way the algorithm will ever work to your favor is if that baseline number is already huge. It's like gambling in Vegas. You can only win if you've got a lot to bet. That's the only way you walk away with a substantial profit. You have to have something to put in. If you're a smaller creator, you're kind of shooting craps with no experience, and you're playing at a table of hustlers. And you hope to God you stand out. There are a lot of great channels out there on YouTube, a lot of great shows here on Facebook, a lot of great networks out there, content creators on Twitch, on Instagram, on YouTube, on the internet itself. Google has its own algorithm. But believe me, I'm going to get to that, Lieutenant. If you're small, you have to actually know about them first to even find them, let alone be notified. And the algorithm is always changing. It is never the same from day to day. It is always evolving. It's like a virus. It's like the cold virus, the rhinovirus. The second that you think you've got it figured out, it nut punches you. Just long enough for you to take your eyes off of it. And by the time you get up to take a good deep breath, it's a completely new virus. You can't do anything about it. Now you're fucked. Again. And certain things bring the algorithm's attention to you so they can target you. Other times, you try to avoid the algorithm, especially if you want to post more edgy shit. But if you're small, you're fucked. You're being bent over without fucking lube. I find it to be fucking ridiculous because you want to know what? The only way that anybody on this fucking planet could ever actually develop into something of an intelligent civilization is if they actually legitimately fucking do something about not judging people out, not shoving shit that's actually good down into the bottom of people's feet to the point where you'll never fucking ever see it again. That's what the fuck happens. That's how people like me fail. That's how people like me fail. To spread the truth. And they don't want you to know the truth. YouTube and Facebook are notorious. They are the big heavy hitters. They are king algorithm. They are the Cyclops. What's up, Troop Gabby? You got news? Hopefully it's relevant. So that's what happens. We get bent over. Twitter is just as bad. And Lieutenant Takara points out a very good thing. Insta, the algorithm won't fuck you so bad if you can Photoshop. Or if you've got what could be considered a marketable look. Thank God I don't got a marketable look. I'm so glad. And you want to know what? I am so happy you're here to celebrate it with us. So, I'm happy to hear that, Troop Gabby. Everybody give Gabby a nice thumbs up. Show some hearts in here so that this way Gabby knows how much we love them as a member of the firing squad. Every single heart, consider it a nice shiny bullet to load into her mag so that she can take a shot at the algorithm. Because damn, it screws over us smaller creators. I'm not saying Hellfire is small, not in the slightest. But the thing is that, we're growing, but we can only continue to grow so that this way we could take one look at something like the algorithm, lube up both fingers, and ram both right up its ass. It's the only way we can do it, is if you share this out everywhere. Troop Angie, glad to see you reporting in. But that's not all. All right? You see, the algorithm also does something else. This is where it gets a little fucked. The algorithm loves to push values on you. If a particular group has a majority push, or another does, they know how to manipulate the algorithm. They flood with posts of one thing or another, and flood your feed with stuff to the point where you might actually agree with it just so that it stops showing up. They say exposure in and of itself will allow for a subliminal imprintment into a person's mind. It's called exposure therapy. The more often you see something, the more used to it you are. That's a form of mental manipulation. I don't like that. I find that to be a form of brainwashing. I don't like that. That's marketable to the point of violating my consent. I find that to be less than desirable. Don't you? You see, I don't want anybody's values pushed upon me. The only values I want pushed upon me are mine. This is why groups are specialized. You're meant to look for them. You're meant to find them, express interest in them, and then the next thing you know, you got them. But here's the problem. All you have to do is just mention something in particular in a private message or post something on your timeline. And the next thing you know, your timeline gets flooded with things relating to such. There was a meme that was released maybe 2 years ago, I think. Maybe 2. Somebody posted something about, I hate that my toilet seat keeps cracking its vinyl. They posted it as their status on the Facebook. Okay. Something a lot of people complain about. Here's the fucked up part. 2 seconds later, their news feed was filled with advertisements for selling of toilet seats. There was react channels posted of people reacting to toilet seats. There were people posting Reddit posts about toilet seats. Do you not see where the issue is? I do. Big Brother's watching. And it's not me. I don't like that. No, sir. I don't like it. I don't like having a microscope on my shit. But that's what it does. And that's the algorithm. That's the algorithm. That's what's fucking poking you. Yeah, it's looking at your shit. People have a tendency to think that Facebook is safe, that YouTube is safe, that Insta is safe, that Snapchat is safe. There is no such thing as safe. But the moment that you realize that, the moment that your paranoia goes away, See, knowledge is the true power. What you know, you can use. What you don't know, hits you in the back of the head. I'm serious. There is and there isn't. It's kind of a gray area, Tyler. Tyler actually posted a good question here. Is there some kind of law that's being broken by doing that? Yes and no. Believe it or not. There is a little provision when you create a Facebook profile that indicates that anything that is posted on your timeline or as a status immediately becomes marketable. That's the cut through the red tape version. If you post it on your timeline, Facebook could use it to suggest things to you. But that's what it is. It's a suggestion. You want to know, as a hypnotist, you want to know what we call a suggestion? It's a subliminal push for a particular point of action. Troop Tristan, I'm glad to see you reporting in. Although why you're using your aunt's account, I can't possibly begin to imagine. Why are you using your aunt's account? But yeah, it happens all the time. As a hypnotist, we plant suggestions into people's minds so that this way they can do and act. They can push an action to the subject so that they can, in turn, be influenced. Influences push action. It's a problem. It's manipulation. And I don't like that. I don't. But there's more. There's more. I've already covered this part, but it's just that important. Sometimes you don't have to be small. Sometimes if you're big, the algorithm will fuck you. It buries great content. You see, great content out there allows for someone to be entertained consistently. That's why we're here. Facebook likes Hellfire most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't like me. It didn't like me for 2 days. Hopefully it likes me now. How do you like me now? You see, great content that exists out there can easily be screwed by the algorithm. Great tunes, great products, great shows, good coffee. All of that, all of it can be bent over a rail by the algorithm. Lieutenant Takar says it doesn't like us. I don't know. Sometimes I think it likes us. Sometimes I think it doesn't. And the music side of things, it doesn't like us. That's true. The music side of things, it fucking hates us with a passion. It treats us like it caught it sleeping with its sister in the parents' bed. Or giving it up the ass. That's how much it likes us. You see, this is why, troops, it's very important that you share this out. Because it's the only way to circumvent the algorithm. You share this out to everywhere you can. It allows us to be able to actually tell the algorithm that it can actually take its own fucking lube and shove it up its own ass. It's the only way. But I know you can do it. Why? Because you're my firing squad. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. That's all you got to aim for. Okay. So yeah, Barry's good content. And that bothers me. But there's another thing that does. Yep. I gotta sit back for this one because I gotta stand back in awe. In awe. Because it has shown to push advertising for particular products that are notoriously sketch. Notoriously sketch. How many times have you scrolled down your timeline and saw adverts for Wish? Some of them have become memes at this point. You gotta wonder, the fuck? That's the algorithm at work. If you're getting sex toys pushed to your Facebook feed, one, I gotta wonder what groups you're a part of, because guess what? I'm probably part of the same ones. That's one. But two, maybe you're using Facebook a little too much. You should be using it to watch us. Seriously. Okay? Does pushes for Amazon. What things are you visiting, Kurai? Okay? You just seriously made me wonder what the hell. Okay. See, you can usually tell a lot about a person by the adverts that they get. I get adverts for toys of varying types, books on vampire fiction, military paraphernalia, hair care products, because, hey, I gotta. And questionable clothing that I could say on the right people makes me go, That's what I get. But then again, that's what I look for on the Facebook. That's the algorithm. But they're advertising it off of Wish. So you got to wonder, what kind of deal does Facebook have with Wish? Give me that deal. I'd kill for that one. I also seem to get adverts for BetterHelp.com. You know, the fake free therapist one. Because they were outed as fake. I don't know how the fuck they're still in business. Amazes me. You get food prep services, Lieutenant, because you have a tendency to always talk about food. In particular, flatbread. As a matter of fact, I would not be surprised that because you posted about flatbread in my last episode, my 50th episode, which, by the way, the algorithm really bent over a rail and stuck it up my stigmata chocolata. It was meant to be a celebratory episode. I highly suggest you go back, watch that one, and share the hell out of it as well. That could be why you might be getting adverts for flatbread now. But yeah, the thing is that it has a tendency to push product and advertisements for shit that I wouldn't even think about buying from. If I'm buying sex toys or particular implements for such, I buy them from specialty shops, local, or I make them myself, which I can, and it's fun. only takes one, Lieutenant Takara. Only takes one. You know, for a while, I was obsessed with Wish. I was. I said to myself, how the hell could I possibly get such awesome shit really cheap? The only thing I could ever say to get from Wish is paracord. And that's if you're any good at braiding it. But then again, you could just go to fucking Walmart. Buy a couple of hanks of it and you're good. I get shit from freaking heritage.com as well. The furthest I could trace my family back is 1802 in France. Fucking weather. I'll do an episode on weather at some point again. It's beginning to be that season. But yeah, you know, it's a little fucked that it pushes advertising for certain types of services and whatnot that you just merely mentioned by one keyword, just one single keyword. That's it. And next thing you know, for the next 6 months, your feed is flooded, and there's nothing you can do about it. Isn't that fun? I find it to be downright aggravating. But to continue, one more point before I open up the forum for Q&A. And it's the fact that it isn't just here on Facebook. It's on YouTube. YouTube is the king. It's the one you have to stand back in awe of. Its algorithm. Doesn't need to change. It fucks everybody. I can tell you why it doesn't, Lieutenant. It doesn't because Amazon is a direct competitor to Facebook. They're not linked. That's why. Certain keywords, yeah, you might get an Amazon ad, maybe one or two, but Facebook doesn't openly advertise Amazon. Bezos and the Zuck do not get along. Yeah, I love the TikTok one. The For You especially. That's a nice algorithm. Who needs porn? You see, it boggles my brain that the algorithms are as twisted as they are. With Facebook, you need a lot of followers first, or a lot of subscribers first, for the algorithm to even notice you. And then you have to legitimately post content that they like and agree with. Then you might end up on a recommended page somewhere. Troop Recept, glad to see you reporting in. Don't know who you are. You must be a first-time reporter. But glad to see you reporting in. You see, it irks me. I don't like that it irks me. YouTube is the biggest fucking violator of them all. Facebook is right behind them. but all sites that have any particular type of membership to it, which allows for an algorithm where a person can get randomly generated suggestions of something, is subject to a particular type of algorithm. I've never seen them, Lieutenant Takara, sorry. It's getting to be that time. It's hot as balls in here. That's why I'm stripping down early a little bit. You see, I'm not a fan of any type of what I call channel marketing. I'm not. I know it's needed in order for things to grow. I get it. And if you know how to manipulate the algorithm to your benefit, more power to you. I wish I knew how. You see, that's where my freaking brain is. My memory is screwed up, Lieutenant Takara. I mean, this is the 4th show that he's been on. This is the 4th episode of The Killing Wall that Recep has been on. Because it's my first time seeing them. Yeah, it's a little screwed up. Because it also does suggest friends as well. And you want to know what? It gets fucked. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody and it ends, and you unfriend the person, but you have mutual friends, because you have mutual friends, they keep on suggesting your ex as a friend. Isn't that fucked up? Troop Curai. I might revisit that particular subject for my 100th briefing. Because it was my first ever episode as the rank commander was about snow. Okay. I'm friends with almost all of my exes too, Lieutenant. But there are a couple that I'm not. Justifiably so. Sergeant Page, you live in Canada. I'm surprised you guys aren't buried in that shit yet. But you know what, folks? I'll tell you. What kill order should I pull out of the file folder next? Curai, Page lives in Canada. It ain't a state. They have territories and provinces. Freaking shoulder's killing me. But seriously, folks, what should be put against the poll next? Because I've got a small stack already prepped, and I need to know whether or not I should pull from that stack or start building a new one. Because right now I could do an episode on rugged manliness, hypomasculinity. Okay. I could do one on gaming consoles. I could do one on, what's the word here? Yellow Jackets, or various different types of stinging insects rather. I could do one on toxic masculinity. Here's the reason why I haven't done one on that, Lieutenant Takara, and there's a good reason behind it. I'll explain. Okay? The reason I haven't done one on toxic masculinity is because there's a lot of what people label that as that's subjective as fuck. And to be honest with you, that's a hornet's nest I don't want to kick. You know, I mean, there are some subjects I will not touch. I won't touch religion, legitimate religion. I won't touch politics. I love pork products, but I could rant about bacon. I could rant about. You want to know what? Here. I think what I'm going to do from now on is during this time span, between the 35-minute to maybe 45-minute mark, I might do mini rants as previews. Men already do that, Lieutenant Takara. I call them awesome. You want to know the type of toxic masculinity that I will not rant about because it has a tendency to piss me off left and fucking right because people have a tendency to call it toxic masculinity? Okay, here's one, okay? People that call it manspreading. Let me tell you something. It's not called manspreading. It's calling having a sack of testicles between your fucking thighs and needing to spread your legs out so that you don't crush them. A lot of you ladies don't have that fucking problem. So when you call it manspreading, I call it legitimately sitting comfortably. Okay? Oh. As far as bacon is concerned, you want to know what? I don't understand the fucking obsession with bacon, okay? It's merely one type of pork product, which in a lot of fucking cases is not really pork. It's just merely a strip of shit that you have to wonder whether or not it's actually made of swine, because legitimate fucking bacon actually does taste good. Not shit that's called bacon bits, not shit that's called bacon flavored or anything along those lines. People started to fucking fry that shit up left and fucking right. Let me tell you something, okay? Frying things in bacon is the surefire way to get the biggest fucking heart attack you've ever fucking seen in your goddamn life, and you need to get your fucking brain checked. Uggs. Let me tell you something about Uggs, okay, Troop Tyson? Let me tell you something about Uggs, Lieutenant Tyson. Sorry about that, okay? Uggs are basically, legitimately ugly boots, okay? They are nothing more than galoshes that were made soft because people wanted to fucking look and walk around like they were walking in a winter wonderland in the middle of fucking summer. And the only people that have a tendency to wear them are fucking Beckys that need to seriously get their fucking shit sterilized. A good rant on horror movies, but you want to know what? Here's the thing about horror movies, okay? The problem with horror movies is that a lot of people have a tendency to think that horror, fear, and gore are all the same fucking thing, okay? There are tons of fucking movies out there that label themselves as horror where all they have is good makeup effects, and those makeup effects are usually about the way that wounds get inflicted and wounds have a tendency to get portrayed. They are not horror movies. They are gore movies, okay? Horror gore as opposed to horror-core. And you want to know what? I like horror. Horror that makes you afraid. Horror that screws with you left and right to the point where when you're leaving the fucking theater or you turn the fucking movie off, you're looking in your back seat to see whether or not there actually is a killer sitting there behind you. Or you're checking your fucking closet to see if there's something in there. Or when you're actually terrified to leave your room to go to the bathroom because you're wondering that there's something at the end of the fucking hallway that's in the dark that you can't quite see one way or the other. Sunglasses that are bigger than the face. Let me tell you something, okay? All it needs to do is cover your fucking eyes, okay? All it needs to do is blot out whatever bright light there is. And if you have a problem with that much level of bright light, you want to what? You and I are in the same fucking ballpark, but you don't need them to be bigger than your fucking ocular sockets, okay? All you need are glasses that cover the fucking light from getting into your eyes. That's all you need. Otherwise, you're basically showing off and trying to show that you're a goddamn fucking insect. Music? Okay, it depends on what genre of music, okay? But then again, there's certain types of music that have a tendency to blend everything together to the point where you can't necessarily categorize. So you're stuck in the fucking CD section trying to find out what the fuck your favorite song is, and you can't necessarily determine it because most of the damn time, whenever you're looking to try and figure out whatever the hell it is that you actually like, you'll never be able to find it. Instead, you have to ask a fucking color associate that has no fucking idea where the hell it fucking is, and you spend 3 hours looking for shit left to fucking right. And half the fucking shit out there isn't really music. It's nothing more than noise. Next subject. Here's the problem with those, Kirai, okay? There are a lot of particular, very instructional videos out there because I've used a lot of those survival tips one way or the other, but I will also tell you there are a ton of them out there that will fucking kill you. But it's up to you to find out. So guess what? Have fun out there in nature. Lieutenant Tyson, you did not just fucking say that. I don't need to rant about that. That's just fucking no. There are some things even I don't need to touch. Ugh, God. You want to talk about the most disgusting fucking fashion statement out there? Fucking forget about it. That became a cultural phenomenon. You see somebody wearing socks with sandals, you shoot them on sight. You'll be saving the human race. You're too fucking lazy to wear something that laces up, but you don't want to take your socks off because you get too damn cold. Wear slip-ons, whatever you fucking do. Do not wear fucking socks and sandals. That's what they're talking about, Takara. That's what we say when we say sandals. Booty shorts, let me tell you something, okay? Some people wear booty shorts that should not wear booty shorts, okay? If your fucking ass has trouble fitting through a goddamn door frame, there is nothing about your butt that says juicy. All right? Dress for the body that you have, not the body that you want. I'm not body shaming, but I'm also saying there are some standards to life. Wear your size. Be proud of it. Yeah, that may be a hot take, and I'm sorry, but there is absolutely nothing in this world that is more eye-catching for the wrong reasons than wearing something that you should not be fucking wearing. Okay? It may seem un-PC, it may seem a little bit offensive, and I'm sorry if you find it offensive. But that's truth. Yes, find some booty shorts that fit you. If you were a size 5 20 years ago, and you're not now, guess what? Those shorts don't belong on you no more. There is tons of fashion out there that looks good on you, will be a very attractive look for you. Just because it looks good on one doesn't mean it looks good on everybody. I'll never wear any pastel color because pastel colors don't look good on me. I don't care how great of a cut the suit is, how great the shirt is. Never. Because I know pastel does not look good on me. I wear what I know I look good in, not what I want to look good in. There's a difference. The clothes make the individual, not the other way around. But make sure the clothes fit. And there are people that are going to disagree with me on that. And they're going to say I'm body shaming, etc., body positivity. Let me tell you something. You want to know what body positivity is? Body positivity is being positive about the body that you're in and the body that you want. Not ripping into somebody else because they don't have your body or they have the body that you want. Big game hunters? Okay. You want to talk about a big game hunter? I'll tell you what a big game hunter would be. Somebody that actually goes out there with nothing but a fucking knife and goes up against a lion. Level the playing field. Then I'll admire you if you actually take the thing down. Do it for the sake of actually surviving. Big game hunters coming out there with fucking guns against goddamn elephants. That's not proportional. It's not. You could take it out at a long fucking distance. That's not a hunt. You want to go up against an elephant? Then go up against an elephant with a fucking spear. Level the playing field. You want to go up against a bear? 2 knives. You take it out, you deserve a fucking trophy for that. Because I guarantee you, a good majority of these big game hunters, they'd be terrified if a fucking animal actually looked at them as prey that they do. They don't like the tables being turned on them. Snakes, okay? You want to know what I don't like about snakes? I don't like the culture that has a tendency to be permeated by them. People have a tendency to think, oh, it's a cute danger noodle. Let me tell you something about danger noodle. There's a key word in that. Danger, okay? And I love snakes. I think snakes are fucking awesome. But at the same time, I also know they aren't exactly fucking pets. There are certain ones that you can keep and certain ones that you can feed and certain ones you can keep in captivity. But let me tell you something. Snakes are fucking dangerous. Recognize. If you're the kind of person that's a snake aficionado, then you'd have no problem having a fucking cobra in your lap that's not devenomized. If you're only going after the safe ones, then you're not a snake aficionado. You just want something to make yourself look unique. That's all. And that's truth. Respect everything around you. Not just what you think you can conquer. And that's a rule. And I think that's the lesson for tonight. I respect the algorithm because it has uses, but I also know that I'm at its mercy. And I know that the only weapons I have are you, my firing squad. Share this out. And then maybe we could take this big fucker down. I'm not going to be doing any more mini rants tonight, but maybe I'll do an entire episode of them in the future. It's something to keep in mind. I need to know that you guys have my back, because I sure as fuck got yours. Let's hunt this fucker down. Let's take down the algorithm and show it that it's our bitch, not the other way around. If you got banned from groups, you're only banned for a short amount of time. Come back to this episode and share it again. And then when you get the opportunity, share it again. Don't stop. Keep firing. Be like Kylo firing on Skywalker. More. That's it for tonight, folks. I want to see you here tomorrow for the next briefing. And I'll know that we're locked, loaded, and ready to rock. Hit the rack tonight, folks. Your rank commander dismisses you. Good night.